folks. Okay, that's the melody for a song called All of Me. It's a jazz standard recorded by many of the great jazz artists through time, and it is a swing tune, usually played in a swing style with a medium tempo. It's a great tune to learn for beginner jazz players. One of the reasons is there isn't so many chords in it. A lot of jazz tunes tend to have lots and lots of chords. Also, the chords that are in it, they tend to last two measures. With occasionally, there's a chord here and there where you'll have one measure with one chord in it. Versus a lot of jazz tunes, which will have one chord per measure, sometimes two or even more. So those sort of things help to learn this sort of song. So what you started off with here listening to was basically the melody, and I'm trying to concentrate on the A section for today. And now let's look at the chords. So we're going to have C6, okay, and then we're going to go to an E7. You could also play E9 there. Alright, now we're going to go to an A7. And then we're going to go to a D minor 7 next. Then we're back to that E7. Or E9 again if you'd like to. Then we're to an A minor 7. Now we have a D7. Again, we can play a D9 if you'd like. Now we have a D minor 7. And then a G7. And one thing I'm trying to do here is, it's common in jazz to keep your chords close together. So, we may not want to play a C6 over here, and then an E7 over here, then an A7 over here, for example, because now we're shifting a lot just for 2-3 chords. So when you're learning your songs on the guitar, and you may know by now that there's a lot of places to play a C6 chord. E7. These are called inversions, and they end up in different places on the guitar there, so in different positions. And what you do is you sort of put them together kind of like a puzzle, and you find out where can I play the next chord, where can I place the next chord that isn't too far away. Alright, so we'll kind of go over that for a minute. So we have the C6 again, and then we go to the E7 or E9. So you can see right there, very close, and that's going to work really good for us. Now we have the A7, that's very close. That could be A13. We could do the A7 in an inversion over here. So that would be E9, A7, E9, A13, a lot of different options. And then now we have our D7, which is, this is minor 7, D minor 7, staying very close by to the A dominant 7. And then you may want to do the E7 at this point, because you don't always have to do E9 every time you see E7, or E7 every time you see E9. Then we're moving on to A minor 7, really close by, D7, and again that could be D9, then D7, very close, and then G7, which is one of the inversions there. Okay, so if I were to comp through this, comp means strumming your chords essentially, and if I did what we'd call Freddie Green style, which I like to just outline chords or learn songs with, it would be a downstroke on each beat. So it would sound like this. Finishing that section. Okay, so we talked a little, we heard the melody, and we played through some of the chords there. And one thing you may like to do when you're learning a jazz tune is combining those things. So that would be like, for example, combining the chords and melody together at the same time. So one way we can do that is maybe I just do the first 8 bars or so to get you an idea. But what I'll do now is with the C6 chord at the very beginning, what I end up doing, okay, so I'm playing the C6 chord, and then the melody note's there already on the top note, first string, and then your second note melody is going to be on your second string, and then you have your E. So 1, 2, okay. And there's the second measure. So we have, and then here we can go to E7, okay. Now you see I had to move my third finger to cover the E note and the melody. So stringing those together, we have. Let me do that again. That's better. And then we now have the A7. And what happens there is we got the A note on the top, which is the melody note. It's going to be on the first string, so the A7 chord works nice. And then we have a G. This is the second melody note in that chord. And then an E, both on the second string. Okay, what did I do there? And sometimes you can play just single notes on the guitar. In a jazz song, you don't have to put a chord on every note. Remember Monk said that leave some spaces, don't fill in every single space there. One way to interpret that would be play less sometimes, play less notes. So we got A7, and then what I did is the D sharp, E, B flat, A, and those were just single notes. And then my D7 chord here, with the fourth finger I can grab the G note. And now I can lift the fourth finger and I have the F note. Those are on the second string. Okay, so that's. So putting that all together, we're going to sound like this. Now you can see by using those ideas, we could come up with the rest of the melody here. So I'm going to continue on. We've got the E7. And what I like to do here is E, D flat, I'm sorry, E flat, E, E flat, D. Okay. And then I play those notes as single notes. So I got E, stretch the first finger down, E flat, and your D is right in the chord on the third string. And then here I just play this in the 7th position, pretty much an E arpeggio. And then A minor 7, and there I'm using one of the inversions. And then we have ourselves the D7. Now I'm going to use a D9 because I like how I could just grab those notes with my pinky. Another way to do that is, and this ain't a bad place to play that because you can end up doing a little tricky, but it puts us in a nice position for the last 3 notes. And then minor 7, and then G7. Okay, so let's do the D7 here. Alright, and then so if I put that together, it's going to kind of sound like this. So, maybe next time I can talk to you about the other section, the B section, and other ideas such as the arpeggios that go along with the song and soloing over it too. So I hope you like the video, and take care.